What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the hoetohusbandpodcast. I'm your host, Terry Duran. I got both of my co-hosts on the line with me tonight. I got my man, Jay. What's good, man?
Not much, man. Looking forward to this episode once again. Want to shout out to the Jersey Shade for allowing us to share their platform. Also, subscribe on YouTube as well as follow us on TikTok at hoetohusbandpodcast. All right, T.
I also got my man, SD. What's good with you?
Nothing, man. I had to take a break from getting insulted on Instagram to come on over here and do the podcast, baby. You know what I'm saying? But I want to give a shout out to Brother Soul Productions for always keeping the background audio fresh. And I want to remind you all to donate to the Hold the Husband podcast on Cash App and PayPal.
I want to quickly remind everybody that y'all can catch the audio playback of the podcast every Monday afternoon at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time on thecore94.com. And you can also catch the podcast on Spotify going forward. Tonight's episode is titled Flirting Do's and Don'ts. We kind of wanted to just have a discussion about the etiquette around flirting, dating, and shooting your shot in 2023. So I'm looking forward to discussing that. But y'all know how we get down around here on the Hold the Husband podcast. We like to discuss stuff that we've seen on our timelines or stuff that we've been seeing trending. And so this first story is something that I had never even thought about. So it was recently announced that Saudi Arabia changed the laws in their country where unwed couples could not live together. And so they recently signed a superstar free agent soccer player, Cristiano Ronaldo, and he got the government to actually bend their rules to allow his girlfriend to move to the country with him. So obviously this sparks a lot of conversation online about why did he just marry her, you know what I'm saying, instead of asking, to bend the rules. So I thought this would be a real interesting discussion because I think the most obvious thing is Cristiano Ronaldo is worth several $100 million. So she ain't finna leave him or pressure him into marriage. And so she's gonna go and live that $1 billion lifestyle, you know what I'm saying, just like most other women would.
Yep.
You know what, man? This is a really special move. And I like to call it the city boy. City boy. This the city boy move right here, baby. Like, man, you know how much juice and power you gotta have a Muslim country like Saudi Arabia to change their laws for how they have been living their lives all of this time in their country, man. And not only that, but do you know how deep it is for him, Pauls, to not want to marry this woman and put his fortune on the line with this woman? This dude here, man, that's an amazing move by him. But I don't blame him. If he ain't ready to marry her, man. Don't put your $1 billion on the line for this chick if you ain't ready to marry her. If she want to leave, bye. Peace. Like you said, ain't no woman finna leave no $1 billion dude because he don't want to marry her. Like, you getting flown out, you on private jets, you getting all the finest everything. And I read that they stand in a $300,000 a month suite in Saudi Arabia's most luxury hotel. It's a 2-level suite. They got floor 49 and 50. It's a double. I said, man, ain't no way she leaving. She finna leave and go live in the Bronx.
And then I think the deal he signed is like $200 million a year. You know what I'm saying? It's something crazy.
It's $300.
Yeah. So
come on,
man. Listen, you know what they say, man. Money talks, bullshit wars. I mean, that's a power move right there in such, an arch conservative country like Saudi Arabia. They're not about this kind of life, really. And to pull this off, man.
Yeah, I mean, but it's interesting to see how women were trying to spin it like he's doing something wrong by not marrying her. Like, man, he's giving her the lifestyle that women dream about. And so I think especially a guy in his position, because even with a prenuptial agreement, she would still leave him with several $1 million. You know what I mean? Just off the rip, just based off his. Yeah, Dr. Dre, Jeff Bezos. We know it's all.
But you know what? The same women that were criticizing this, I guarantee they would trade spots to be in this place in a heartbeat.
In a minute.
Not spending that time, money, and resources on you.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Hey, what's the percentage of women y'all think would actually, like the comments are saying, like, leave this dude because he don't marry her instead? What's the percentage of women you think?
Zero.
Come on, man. I mean, I'll give them
bet money on that.
And say maybe 5 or 10, but that I seriously.
I mean, we're not talking about a situation where she been his girlfriend for 20 years or some long extended period of time. But in this situation where he got traded to go play in another country, he went out of his way to make provisions for you to come with him. Man, those are all signs that a man is really into you. Because he did not have to do that. He could have just charged you to the game and moved on and found another one. You know what I mean? Like, so
quick.
Absolutely. You know, he's one of the most popular men in the world.
Absolutely.
And so when it comes to dating, it's a different game for those guys.
Is he Brazilian? Is he Brazilian?
I'm not sure.
I think, man, don't let me get the line. I'm not no soccer expert, but I think Argentina. I don't know.
Wherever he from out there in South America, them women fine wherever he from, and it don't matter. It don't matter, bro. And trust me, they are lined up to get a chance, regardless if his girl there or not. You know what I'm saying? So that's why a lot of times, when certain things come out in social media, man, you know what I learned, man, that you cannot listen to a lot of women because a lot of women how they feel about certain situations depends on what they response. Say. What they say at that particular time depends on how they feel in that moment. It could change in a week. That could change in a week.
That's why it's so easy to catch them with the hypocrisy.
Yes,
like on the polls and all that. All you gotta do, if they read the question and it triggers them, they gonna respond a certain way. That's right.
And man, I had seen another podcast. I can't remember the name of it. Where dude was like, you know what, women really don't be lying. They just go with how they feel at that particular moment. It's not like a conscious lie sometimes, like they sitting there thinking about it. It's like they go off of how they feel at that moment. So in that moment, they read, man, he asked them to change their laws so he can live with his girlfriend instead of marrying her. What do most women want to do? Get married. So they feel for women that have to wait a long time for marriage or go through something like this because they think it's embarrassing.
Even if she's living a luxury lifestyle,
they don't even care. Them feelings override common sense a lot of times. And common sense will tell you, man, this girl, she don't want for nothing. She don't need nothing. And, she's living a life. Got servants, got maids. Come on.
Got Birkins, got everything that women in the world want.
Come on, man.
But I bet you she complains. I bet she still has found something to complain about. That's one of the things that you just come to understand as a man. But a lot of women.
I would hope so in this situation.
Yeah. Like, hey man, listen, I don't want to hear all that now. This week cost me $300,000. I don't want to hear all that. Like Gabrielle Union said, hey, listen, I don't want to hear none of that. I do everything up in
entitlement.
Here. Come on, man. Like, you got to deal with that from guys like that. Like, and most women will be quiet and chill out in a situation like that. I mean,
can you imagine how many people in the country you think got married right before that law changed, where they were living with their girlfriends and they made it illegal? And they laws is a different ball game.
I thought it was always like that.
No, it just recently, like in the past couple of months, they were saying that they made a change that unmarried couples can't live together no more. I guess it was starting. I guess I would imagine single parenthood was starting to become a thing. And so they took drastic measures, but you know, he's not from that country, so I can understand why they let it pass, because they ain't gonna miss out on no free agent like that.
No, you can't. But listen, man, they will take you out into a coliseum, pull your drawers down, and whoop you in front of everybody. That's a nice punishment, because they'll stone you too in some of them countries out there and kill you over some stuff like that, man. You go to some of them other countries like Iran.
Be on your best behavior, man.
Oh, absolutely. So, I mean, I get it with this dude here. This is a move for the ages right here. So, and I don't blame him.
All right, man, let's keep things rolling now. This next video, it's a conversation we have a lot of the time on the podcast, but this video is a lady breaking down the difference between a trick and an actual provider. Let's take a listen.
There's this one dude on TikTok who gets on my last nerves. I mean, he be pandering so bad. He just say anything for likes and follows, and these chicks be on here just eating it up. He made one video talking about how if a man want to take you on a date, tell him to cash app you $200 before the date to show that he really serious. Or be telling girls dudes need to be paying their bills, dudes need to be paying their rent, dudes need to be doing all of this stuff in the talking stage. Like, if there's men out there that's doing that, that's fine. But don't be pushing a narrative that if a man ain't doing that, then there's something wrong. Because you're putting the wrong idea in women's heads. Because nothing about that is normal. There are dudes out here who like to do stuff like that, and what we like to call those dudes are tricks. There's a difference between a man being a provider and a man being a trick. If that man does not live in that woman's household, it is not his responsibility to be paying her bills. If he want to, that's fine, but that is not what makes him a provider. That makes him a trick.
I agree. I ain't never been in a position to be a trick, to be perfectly honest. So I've always dated from a broke dude or a regular guy's perspective, but I never understood it because I've never seen it as something that was required. And most of the time when I see guys that brag about what they spend and what they do for women, those guys are usually lacking something. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to impress you. They're trying to get clout for it or whatnot. But I never really cared. Because a lot of times dudes will be tricking and doing stuff for chicks that I'm smashing already. You know what I mean? Like, damn, I'm glad he bought, you know what I'm saying? I'm eating the leftovers he bought and doing stuff like that. So, it was always funny to me. I never really understood it.
Man, you know what? I call it, like, to me, that's almost, like, I think most men have been a trick at some point. I remember I tried to be a trick one time and it blew up in my face and I was like, man, this hoe, you know what I'm saying? She got me. You know what I'm saying? Tried to trick with a watch and all that, and never heard from her after that. Like, you learned a hard lesson.
Oh, she ghosted you?
Yeah, I never heard from her again. This was like 15 years ago. You know, when the next time I actually seen her, she joined my page. She started following me on Instagram.
Oh shit!
And didn't know it was me. And didn't know it was me because I had beard and all that. And I was young at that time. I was in my early 20s, so my face was bald and all that. She didn't know it was me. I was like, hey, how that watch doing? Heifer. She was like, what watch? What are you talking about? I'm like, yeah, man. Remember back in 2009? She was like, yo, I didn't know, man. I'm sorry. I'm like, but whatever. But my point is, like, most dudes done been a trick at some point. That's how you learn. It's like riding a bike or learning to do anything, and you learn.
Well, hold on. Well, tricking. Well, to me, a guy is tricking when the money and the gifts is what he uses to spark her interest.
Yeah.
Like a dude spending money or doing stuff for a chick that he's just fucking with. That ain't the same thing to me. Like you involved with a chick and you got her a birthday gift. So with this watch thing, you just met the chick and tried to buy shorty a watch?
Well, I didn't know her long. I knew her a couple weeks, and she was like, I knew her maybe 2 weeks, and she was like, man, what's up with this watch? And I'm like, man, I got you, girl. I got you. I didn't hardly know shorty. So, I mean, it's tricky when you go through that, you know what I'm saying, with a woman, because at some point, 9 times out of 10, you gonna meet a chick that don't really feel you like that as a young man, and you don't really know how to navigate it. And at that particular time, I had, you know what I'm saying, I was making money at a young age, so I'm like, well, I see that she like nice stuff, so bet I'm gonna do this here and I'm gonna get it. But that just teaches you not to be a sucker.
Life
like
lesson.
That, trick or a sucker. Yeah, it
Right.
teaches you. And since then, man, listen, I might get you a 2 for $20 at Applebee's. That might be what you get.
What about you, Jay? You ever had a trick in face?
Don't lie.
I've been there before. Trust me. Like trying to doing something to impress a chick that I initially met, and it didn't work out too well.
That's what I'm saying. See, Terry, everybody ain't been married since they was 14, bro. Some of us been suckers out there. Some of us been
Well, I had a similar experience, but mine was in high school. A chick I had a crush on, trying to convince a chick that you got a crush on to date you. That I learned my lesson from that my junior year in high school. So I was broke at the time, but I did take her on dates and try to convince her, took her to prom and things of that nature. It never got so much as a kiss. And so it wasn't until that summer when I just reflected, I'm like, man, you spit all this energy on her and you was ignoring the chicks that you was already fucking. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it just kept recalibrating my thinking on how I spend my time and energy in regards to women.
Yeah. But one of the things I see in the video, here's the thing. Women don't respect tricks. Like, if you trying to use money or anything of monetary value to win her over, she'll take it gladly as from the both examples here, but she ain't gonna respect you.
No, not.
Yeah.
And guess what? If you got a trick for a woman, she don't really like you.
Yep.
That's what it is. And no lie. Like, you know, she's requiring you to buy her something, send her a cash app, whatever, before she even give you her number or go out with her or whatever. She don't really like you. She's only gonna do it because you are paying for it. You're paying for her time or whatever. Now that don't mean that you can't do things for a woman that you like, but you do it when the energy is reciprocated. A woman that you actually like, you gonna spend your resources on trying to take her out and go out and enjoy yourselves and things like that.
But you gotta also remember, like you got to that point with the maturity, but your time is valuable. You know, just waste. I mean, even though you could get sex out of it or whatnot, like you said, you were a couple episodes back, you were talking about how you won't just blow a chick's back out where you don't have nothing in common or you don't like how she move or whatnot. Yeah. A lot of guys need to think about that component of it as well. You can waste a lot of time that you could be doing on spending on something more productive with a chick that ain't giving you no real love, man.
Yeah, I mean it's tough, but you know, man, you know, I just want to distinguish the two. Like tricking, if you got a trick, she don't like you, man. Because a woman that actually like you, she's gonna, you know what I'm saying, try to get to know you and reciprocate energy. She ain't gonna play these little games and make you jump through hoops, financial hoops or material hoops, just to get to know her. She's not gonna do that. She's gonna be authentic with you and be like, yeah, we can go out. Now then you gonna have to you spend your money to provide whatever thing it is. That's perfectly fine. Like, do that. But don't be a trick, man. You be a trick, you can learn a tough lesson and you end up broke real quick.
Yeah. One thing I like that she said in the video, she said that unless a guy lives in the household, that's the only time he should be responsible for the bills there. And I agree. Now, obviously, when it comes to child support, I think a man should contribute to the household that his child is in, a reasonable amount. Not one of these excessive celebrity child support cases. You know, but depending on where you live, I can see $1,200-$1,500 a month for one child. I can see that as being reasonable if you a guy that make decent money.
That's what
but yeah, I'm gonna say if you making a certain amount, that's not gonna break you. You know what I mean? Like, and to be honest, having a child that live in a household with you, that's about right. You know what I'm saying? Like between cheer and lunch and clothes and this and that. You spending some money on a child every month, no matter what their age is.
That's different, man. I mean, when you got a kid in the house, I don't care what you do with the money after I give it to you. Just make sure your bills is paid and your stuff is done or whatever, so you ain't got to come back and keep asking for it. But that's different, man. So I don't really count that. But I'm not paying no chick bills, man, just to go out with her. I've had women that I have met like that, where they want me to pay a phone bill or something like that, and I cut them off real quick as soon as they mention it. I told y'all about a chick. I told y'all about a chick a couple weeks ago. Remember that? When my first 2 times talking to her, she mentioned money to me. Giving her money, my first 2 times talking to her, ain't heard from her since. Because I was like, I'm not doing that. What you think this is? Like, when you a certain type of guy, you ain't gotta do that to get women. You got to go to some of these lames that can't get women to do that type of stuff. You can't pull that over here, man. It ain't gonna happen.
And these chicks know good and well when these gifts are unwarranted. Like, she didn't even do nothing with dude, ain't even kiss her, hug him, nothing, and he over there buying all these gifts.
But a lot of them offer it, man. My wife showed me the DMs that dudes send her. Her friends send me their DMs. Dudes offer a lot of crazy shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Like it's sad to see, you know what I'm saying, in a kind of a way. It's like, damn, bro, y'all out here this bad. Because it's really not that hard to have success with women. Especially if you got enough money to be able to cash up a chick $500 for a birthday, then you should be looking fly. Your grooming should be on point. Like, you should be able to attract women, bro.
But what you don't understand, Terry, is that money don't unlame you. You will still be a lame with money. It don't unlame you. So these here dudes that's got the money to actually cash out a chick $500 just to talk to her or get her phone number, when they face to face with a woman, they tongue tied. That's all, folks. Like, they don't know what to say to this woman, because they never interacted with a woman face to face, never became comfortable with it, or don't have confidence in themselves enough to be authentic enough to go up to her and approach her and get her just off of his personality and how he look and the way he talk and his swag or the way he carry himself. They don't have that type of confidence. So the only thing that gives them confidence is their money. And because their money is the only thing that gives them confidence, and they know that women like and love money, that's how they approach women, with trying to give them material things or money. It's the lamest, oldest trick in the book, and I don't blame women for taking it from them when them fools come up to them with the money. Take every dime. If you gonna lead with it, it's like a woman leading with sex.
With her sex, yeah.
Yeah, like, hey, don't get mad when the dudes come and take it from you. That's all.
True.
Yeah, I agree, man. It is what it is. Do we got time for to respond to one of the DM questions? Do we got anything in the inbox this week?
Yeah, man, we got a quick one, man. You know what I'm saying? This here comes from Tawana. She says, since y'all 3 of y'all, 2 of y'all former hoes or whatever, I don't know what Jay's doing over there, and then a husband, what good qualities make a woman stand out from the rest of the women? One for me nowadays, and I'm gonna name a couple. I'm gonna say being feminine, because that's becoming a lost art by the day with these boss babes, alpha women, boss bees, and I'm so independent, I don't need a man type of chicks. Being feminine, and then being having a submissive attitude, and that just means being cooperative with a man and being agreeable with a man. A lot of women don't want to do those things, and those are things that a guy like myself actually look for in a woman, is her attitude and her femininity.
Yeah, those are the things that determine how pleasant it is going to be around her on a regular basis.
Yep.
So a woman's attitude, a woman's ability to be able to take new information and reshape her perspective on something. To be her ability to actually learn from a man or learn from experiences. Those type of things are the things that make a guy look forward to spending time to a woman. And ultimately, that's how a man falls in love and makes the decision to date a woman long term. He sees her in different environments and in different scenarios, and she passes each one, for lack of a better term. Those are the type of things that'll change a guy from viewing you as somebody he was just kicking it with to somebody that he starts thinking about his bringing you home for Christmas, and you know what I'm saying, like bringing you around his family. His seriousness towards you is going to gradually change. What about you, Jay?
Yeah. I'm with SD, being feminine, cooperative, and being nurturing. Are you somebody that's going to be pleasant to be around? What kind of tangible benefits do you bring to the table is one thing a guy is going to look at. Do you make his life easier? That's another thing as well.
Yeah, I mean, all these things are important, man. It's no different than a man and what he and the things that sets him apart from other men out here. You know what I'm saying? How he actually treats a woman. Is he a gentleman? Is he masculine in what he does? Does he know how to protect? Does he have no issue with providing when you all do certain things? Does he lead his own life correctly? Those are things that sets men apart nowadays, because a lot of men ain't doing it. So it's just the same thing on both sides, man. So those are the things.
Yeah, that consistency, man. That's always that. Those are the things that make you a good mate, because ultimately those are the things that keep a household running consistently. You communicate through issues. You're able to resolve situations. You're able to deal with unexpected situations that come up, and so obviously the more money you have, the easier it is to do that. But a lot of times for most people, there's a lack of money or there's a limited amount. So you have your decision making in regards to spending, how you handle money, your priorities. All those are the type of things that shape how a man views you. When he's in a mind frame to where he's trying to settle down. All right, man. Look like we up against the clock. We about to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be getting into tonight's topic, flirting do's and don'ts, where we'll be chopping up about the etiquette involved in today's dating scene. Y'all are tuned into the Hoe to Husband podcast. We'll be back in a minute. Hi, I'm relationship coach and author Terry Duran, and I am pleased to announce that my book, It's Not That Complicated, is finally available as an audiobook. So if you don't like to read, or you just don't have time to read a paperback book, this audiobook is perfect for you. You can listen to it while you're in your car, while you're at work, etc. In the book, I break down how husband material men think and operate in regards to sex, love, and relationships, and I provide real quality insight on how husband material men approach dating. The audiobook is available on audible.com and on iTunes. All you have to do is go to one of the websites and search for my name, Terry Duran. Go download your copy today. All right, everybody, welcome back to the Hoe to Husband podcast. Tonight's episode is titled Flirting Do's or Don'ts. And we just wanted to have a discussion about what's acceptable and what's not in regards to flirting, dating, shooting your shot, etc. Now, I put up a post on my page recently that sparked this discussion topic. And it was a post about a lady that's an influencer. She had went live and she mentioned where she gets her lashes done. So one of her followers that was interested in her sent a gift for her to the salon. And so in the woman's thread, she was talking about how it made her feel kind of weird, and it gave her weird vibes and whatnot. She has safety concerns, and so it's like she obviously didn't know who the guy was or whatnot. But I just wanted to have a conversation or a discussion on my page about how women come up with so many negative assumptions when a guy shows interest or tries to shoot their shot. And so just reading the comments, it made me just think like, man, what is acceptable in this day and age to show a woman that you're interested in her romantically without it being, considered something negative? What you think about that?
I personally wouldn't do it, but I don't see anything wrong with it. Because if he wanted to show up at the shop and wait for her or something like that, he could do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? To me, like if it was dangerous like that, like if he was some really crazy type dude, then he would do something like that. But, he decided to send a gift or whatever. And, the thing is that If she found out it was from Drake or Chris Brown, it'd be a different story.
Right. Video would have been completely different.
Absolutely. She'd be like, girl, Chris Brown sent me a da-da-da-da. Oh man, I did this on my story. And she'd be plugging the place and like, yeah, this the energy I'm talking about right here. It'll be completely different, dude. But because she didn't know who it was from, that led to how she responded to it, because I can guarantee you if she found out, and if he was really an attractive guy that she really liked, it'll be a different story. So I think she should have found out, put it on her story and said, hey,
thank you.
I appreciate the gesture, whoever it is. Send me a copy of the receipt to let me know that it's you. And then, that way I can thank you personally for doing it. And then see who he is. Because this way, if she a single woman, she done scared this man off. If he's a really good guy, she done scared him off. Now he like, oh no, I'm not even gonna take it no further. And he get to remain anonymous without even letting her know who he is. So I think she messed up if she's a single woman.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, you know what? I mean, if this is a nice gesture, it's just, like you said, was it something I would do personally? Probably not. Not for somebody I don't know or I'm not dating. Because I think you're taking a chance, because this is going, it's 50-50 at best. She might be interested. She might not.
I mean, but all dating is a risk, right? So, so in the comments, I was going back and forth with a couple of different people. It's something that I probably wouldn't do. I'm not a random gift type of dude, but I've been married almost 20 years, so I wanted to get the single guy's perspective on this. But like you said, SD, I don't see anything wrong. Like in the slides, the woman was talking about how he violated her personal space and this and that. And I'm like, whoa. He sent a gift through a delivery service to a public space. Yeah, how is that violating your personal space? You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't show up at your house. He wasn't at your job. He wasn't stalking you. And so it's like men get this negative painting by just doing basic things, because I can recall a time where these are the type of things that women wanted. A classic movie in the Black community, Jason's Lyric. If you're not familiar with it, this was one Alan Payne and Jada Pinkett were the main characters. Because showed up, put up on her at a bus stop. You know what I'm saying? Was harassing her, followed her home. You know what I'm saying? Like, just to be able to express interest. And they ended up being together. And so it's like women do all these things to get attention from men. But when men show attention to them, it's viewed negatively. And it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me, especially when it's done respectfully.
You know another movie that did that's a classic like that all of these women probably know about? Love Jones. He got to meet Nia Long because Nia Long paid with a check. He took her address off the check and went to her house. And the women was like, oh man, this is what I'm talking about. Look at the effort he put into that. He didn't take no for an answer. Like I said, it depends on who it is. It's no different to me. Even though I wouldn't do it this particular way, I would send a drink over to a table at a restaurant. If I see a nice woman and her girls over there or something, I see a nice woman, it's kind of the same. It's mysterious. You don't know who it is. You know what I'm saying? It's, kind of the same thing. So I would do that, but I wouldn't look at the social media and do it like that.
SD, have you done it before? Have you ever sent a drink over to a woman's table?
Absolutely. I've paid for meals before of women that I've seen, and I'm like, hey, what's she eating? Oh man, she eating the crab leg? No, we ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna let her. Shorty got the king crab leg out of Alaska. You talk about $400? Nah, bro. I'm gonna just pay for the cheese she put on top of that. That's all I'm gonna pay. No, but I'm saying, I have done stuff like that, man. But then afterwards, I go over there and I introduce myself and you know what I'm saying, let shorty know that I'm interested or whatever. But see, in this particular instance, if I was that guy, and I'm just putting myself into his shoes, maybe thinking that she would receive it differently, and then maybe post something on her story saying, man, I got a gift. Now, maybe not even post a gift, but just say, hey, I got a gift today, man. Whoever sent me that, thank you. And now he can hop in and say, yo, you know
Hey,
what?
that was right.
I think
because the thing though, right? We share everybody does it, but a lot of people share it. They walking all around their apartment. They showing in their car. They showing where they going. And if you follow somebody and you live in their city, you can recognize where they at by the background and the context clues. Mm-hmm. And so I know of situations where a chick might post where she's partying at her story, and the dudes that got a crush on her pull up. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what guys have to do, because historically you had to be in proximity of women to be able to shoot your shot. Yeah. And so from a male perspective, it's really the same thing, because unless you got a blue check, most DMs are going ignored these days.
Yeah.
If she's attractive,
if she's attractive, her DMs is overwhelmed with dudes, good morning, beautiful, and all that. So the odds of getting a response from a DM is small. So I can see a guy doing like something like cash apping a chick $30 for her birthday, go to lunch on me or something like that. Yeah. Something small to stand out in, and your goal as a guy, you got to get her to click your page, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like that's your resume. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if she can click on your page, that's your pass or fail check to whether she's gonna respond to you or not. Yeah. But the way that women talk in the comments, they make it seem like every dude that tries to approach a woman or do something nice for a woman is doing it because he has some negative motive, you know what I'm saying? Like, or there's some danger involved. Yeah. And that really contradicts the data, because most women that are raped or killed or whatnot, it's by somebody that they know. It's a family friend, it's a co-worker, it's somebody that you know. It's not this
rare.
Yeah.
The majority of men ain't doing this type of stuff. You got some losers out here that's doing this type of stuff, true enough. But the majority of men ain't doing it. The majority of the men do want to have sex with you. Ain't no dude approaching you romantically. Like, he's not approaching you romantically and he don't want to have sex with you. That's every single man. So y'all could take that out of the running as something that's negative. Like, every dude want to do that no matter where he try to talk to you at. Like, it is what it is.
But the way that they value sex,
I know.
They view it negatively.
Yeah. But
you just want sex. You want to have sex? You don't even know me. Like, I don't need to know you to have sex with you.
Exactly. But like you said, the pretty girls, they ignore DMs. That's why I'm not a big DM guy. I'm not a big DM sender. But if she a 3, she answering that DM before you hit send. She right back like, hey, how you doing? So you get more success with them chicks than you do them real pretty ones. That's
so sure. I wanted to ask you, since you still single and all that, you too, Jay. What's the most effective way to shoot your shot at women these days? I'll start with you, SD.
Man, honestly, it's gonna be on some type of social media. That's really outside of, I ain't gonna say the most effective way. I prefer person to person. But nowadays, it's just so tough. Like, now being older, I don't club, I don't party, and I rarely do bars and stuff like that, where I'm in an environment where I got this smorgasbord of women around now where I could just pick them out like I used to do back in the day and just go holler at a bunch of women. Now it ain't like that. Now I might see a chick that's a 6 once a month. If she's, you know what I'm saying? Dimes ain't walking around everywhere. 9s and 8s ain't walking around everywhere. Now I might see a 6 once a month because I don't really move around like that anymore. So now for a lot of men, social media is really the most effective way, but it all depends on the type of woman and the beauty of the woman that you're trying to get to. Because the fact of the matter is, if she real fine, man, listen,
everybody's on
DMs. Every second she getting DM. and the chances of her seeing yours is slim to none. That's why I personally don't do it. And so, that's me. Jay,
what about you, Jay? What you got?
Man, first of all, it's more so an effective way is putting yourself in position, and honestly, just keeping it simple. Like, for example, if you slide in the DM, just something simple. Hey, how you doing? Because if she's interested, she'll answer you back. You can just keep
Don't send no paragraphs. Hey, you're the most beautiful woman. I couldn't wait for opportunity.
Your eyes are like sapphire.
Exactly.
In the moon. Man, shut up.
Yeah.
But even if you meet somebody out, let's just say in a public setting, in a social setting, right? Hey, how you doing? You know the vibe. You should just read the vibe, be able to read the room, and you kind of know the vibe from there.
Go get it.
All right. Well, see, so back in the day, I keep comparing it to how things used to be, right? So back in the day, before social media and smartphones and all that, when you saw a woman, you had to communicate your interest in her. So I can remember notes under windshields. I can remember passing notes to schoolmates and coworkers, things of that nature. Nowadays, women make it seem like it's creepy for a man to fantasize and think about how to get with a woman. And it's like all these romantic comedies, all these songs y'all love, that's what they're about. So how can all these things be creepy or viewed negatively all of a sudden? It doesn't make sense to me how women view these things. Maybe it's because they don't have to approach men. They got to be the explanation.
Yeah, because I think women get oversaturated with it with social media. They get pretty women especially. They get oversaturated with men trying to talk to them that they kind of just get tired of it. Like, whatever.
They're numb to it.
Yeah, so I mean, I get it and I understand it, but that's why for me personally, for me to send a woman a DM, if I talk to a woman off Instagram, most times she done said something to me, or she gave me the green light to let me know, yeah, hey, come on, shoot that shot. But me just out the blue DM.
Well, what's the green light look like?
The green
break it
light
down for the viewers.
A woman will talk to you and express interest in you. Like, it don't be just a simple thank you, or it don't be just a simple laugh at your post or something like that. It'll be some type of conversation, and then you'll answer. Like, I'm a simple answer guy. I'll answer, oh man, thank you, I appreciate that. And then they'll come back with something else. Yeah, I really like how you I liked you for a while. Like, they come back with something and let you know, like, if you want to shoot the shot, it's there. Yeah, like you'll be able to feel it if you understand women. Now, most of them I don't really pay attention to, because I be like, ooh, no, no. But for me, out the blue, it takes a long time. I have sent DMs in my whole time on Instagram, but it takes me a long time. If I send a chick a DM, I done studied her. I done looked at her.
And that's what social media is. Yeah. That's the best part of it. We talk about it all the time. I guess if you can call it being a weirdo or a creep, but when I had a crush on a chick, I can notice her in any environment. Oh, she's at the party, I can see her instantly. If we're in class together, I'm making sure I can see her during class. Like, so the things that men do that give them an advantage in the dating market, scouting their potential, who they gonna shoot their shot at, you're learning information. You're learning what's gonna give you the best chance or opportunity for success. And social media is how men is gathering that information these days.
Mm-hmm.
Fellas, question: Do y'all think, like, with this day and age of social media and the internet, do you think it taught guys to not have game? Like, the game isn't as tight as it was, say.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, a lot of guys are afraid to approach women in one-on-one, and so it gives guys like SD a bigger advantage in having a conversation, because it's hard to do that, especially if she's really attractive and she's with other women. Like, walking up to 3 or 4 chicks and getting them to laugh and ending up with a number. Like, it's a pat on the back, but a lot of guys won't even try it.
Right. It takes a lot of confidence It does, man, and it takes a lot of practice and a lot of rejection. It takes a lot of rejection too, in order to become comfortable with doing stuff like that, man. I understand why guys are timid to do it. You know what's crazy? I talked to my son. He'll be 10 this year, and he said, Dad, it's tough for me to talk to the pretty girls, but it's easy for me to talk to the ugly girls. And I'm like, man,
That's crazy. He understands that at 10.
yeah, a 10-year-old understands that concept. So of course there's men now, and I let them know, like, hey man, it's just a woman just like any other woman. You got to get comfortable with it. And the more that you do it, and that's really the advantage that we had growing up in the 90s as teenagers, right? That we didn't have cell phones that we can type on and stuff like that. So we actually had to talk to women and learn
for hours at a time
on the phone.
Long period. I mean,
not only them, you got to talk to their mama too when you call their house. You could
be sitting on the steps with a chick for hours. You could be just at the park leaning on the slide for hours. Like, you had to be able to change the conversation, ask follow-up questions, make jokes, say, you do things that make her laugh. Like, but again, it seems like a lot of women frown upon those things these days. If you see their stories and you see the stuff that they post, they annoyed when a man approaches them. They spent 2 hours getting dressed with the weave and the all this stuff, but now they mad because men find them sexually attractive and are actually responding to how they look. So it's like, from a guy perspective, what do? You know what I mean? Like,
that's because they ain't being approached. I don't think most women, and I'm gonna do a survey on it. I don't think most women are being approached in person anymore. They're only being approached 80 or 90% of the time on social media. And not only that approach, but imagine that you got all these here guys that's coming at you from all different walks of life who don't know how to respect a woman or talk to a woman, coming at you daily, putting their dicks in your DMs and all this here other goofy stuff, right? Like, you gonna get tired of that as a woman, because the dudes don't know how to communicate or come at a woman. They're being taught by the rappers and all these here women, hey, come at me with money. We just want to have sex too. So the guys is like, bet, I'm gonna come at you like that. And it's throwing off the whole dynamic. So now when a guy actually comes at a woman with some type of respectful genuineness, saying, hey, how you doing with such a, they clown him like, look at this cornball right here just saying hello. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. It's just messing up the entire dynamic. Social media is ruining a lot of things out here in the dating world.
Because you see the women, especially the younger women, they don't respond to the men that are actually husband material. They're not really interested in the guys that can provide a stable lifestyle. They want the lit future type of guys.
So I don't completely agree. I think the women, they want both. They want the future type guy, but they want him to be a husband material man. Because I mean, just think about it. Women love hoes. Like, they love they love men that can get and attract other women. Otherwise, the guys that play video games all day wouldn't be in their DMs in the friend zone, right? They'd have those guys, because there's a lot of Russell Wilsons there. Sorry, I promised I would not mention this man's name. But anyway, like I was saying, like it's just one of those things, man. It's something that you have to get used to as a man and a woman in the dating market now. So it is what it is.
Yeah. So let me ask y'all this. So the typical situation, you out at the bar, you buy a woman a drink. How long do you sit there and talk to her face to face before it was nice meeting you and you walk away? Because some dudes use that as a tool to try to, and I'm in agreement with the ladies. They'll try to monopolize all of her time just because they bought her one drink. What are y'all thoughts on?
I'm in and out. I'm gonna buy you the drink. I'm gonna let you know I'm interested, and then I'm gonna go about my business. I ain't gonna even ask for your number right then. I ain't gonna even ask for it right then. I'm gonna let you know I'm interested and give you your drink and just say, hey, I hope I see you before we leave. Now, at the end of the night, when things is, if I'm getting ready to go, I might ask her for a number. Or if at the end of the night, I'm gonna see if she lingering around. If we catch eye contact, you know what I'm saying, I give her the like, come here. You know what I'm saying?
See, I would describe that as preheating the oven. The hopefully I see it before we leave, like you said. That communication right there, that one little line lets you know where things are gonna go. Because if she just dipped without saying and waving anything, she ain't like you like that.
Yeah,
but a woman that does like you she's gonna make sure you can see her, etc. Like OG game right there, man.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I've been out here a long time. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna hang around no chick all night because I bought you a drink. You know what I'm saying? It all depends on the vibe or whatever, but I ain't gonna hang around you. Now, if I try to go and you grab me like, no, you ain't gotta go, bet I'm hanging out right here. You know what I'm saying? But if not, I'm gonna go chill.
You know what? Like a guy that, because he bought a woman a drink, he feels like she's beholden it, and he's always trying to handcuff her the whole night. I always thought that was corny and lame to do, right?
I want the other dudes to come and try and talk.
Exactly. To her. Like if I'm talking to a chick at a bar, I buy a drink. It's usually a 5-minute conversation. Hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. They exchange names and exchange numbers. Either she is sure, she not.
Yeah. See,
well,
do people do you directly ask for the number, or is it asking for her Instagram? Like, because I know, remember when we had on Nurse Bay and she was talking about dudes being like, oh, you Nurse Bay from Instagram or whatever.
Yeah.
And getting a woman's Instagram is just as good as getting her phone number, damn near, right?
Nah, not for me. Nah. Like, I'd never mention Instagram. If I notice a woman. If I notice a woman from Instagram, I don't bring it up. I don't want her to know that I know who she is. Like I don't want to be like a fan. I don't want to be like a fan. Like, oh my God, it's really you. Like, no, I'm nice too. I'm nice too. Forget you. Listen,
you know what?
You look good. It's all good. But forget your Instagram. What's your number? I don't want because I'm gonna just fall into the fan. I'm gonna fall in line with the rest of the fans in your DMs. No way. I'm gonna shoot my shot and ask you for your number. If you don't want to give it to me, cool. If you gonna give me your Instagram, it's all good. I'll take your Instagram, but I'm not gonna DM you. You gonna hit me up, or I ain't got nothing to say to you. That's all. Because I tried.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. That's fair. You know what? I've never approached women and asked her for social media. Hey, what's your Facebook? What's your Instagram?
No way.
Even if she offers, oh, I'm not gonna give you my number, but I'll give you my Instagram, my Facebook. I would just take that as a lack of interest. Like I would never DM you if you just give me that.
Yeah, like
I can understand that.
Bro. No way.
Well, I know a lot of women deal with the lames. Like the lames be fucking it up for everybody. They gave a dude her number, now he's blowing her up, and now she gotta block him. You know what I'm saying? Like or now he's calling her from an unknown number or a private number and stuff like that. So I can understand why some women get like alternative numbers where you can call them through an app or things of that nature. Right. I don't automatically think that's a lack of interest. That could just be something that a precautionary measure that she uses because of past dudes. But it's interesting, man. I mean, talking about all this stuff among women, man, it's hard to find a path where a man is not being criticized for something about his approach to a woman.
That's life.
Where
it's what it is.
It's frustrating though, man.
But you can't let it frustrate you. As a man, you got to suck that up and keep it moving. As a man out here, I don't let none of this stuff frustrate me with women, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Rejection, not want to talk to me, how they feel, how they want to be approached. Man, listen, I'm going to approach you like this. If you don't like it, forget you. It's all good. Like, I'm going to have my approach, how I approach as a man. I don't really care what these women, how they want me to approach, because like I said earlier, it changes with the wind depending on how they feel. One day they want you to apply pressure. The other day they don't want no pressure. It depends on how it is with who it is, the man that is coming from. So I do what I do, how I do it. And if a woman rock with it, cool. If she don't, it's all good. I ain't mad at her nothing, baby. It was nice to meet you. Have a good day. be safe out here. That's it. But I do my thing how I do it. And if they don't want to fall in line with it or like it, it's all good, man. Forget them and how they want me to approach them. I don't even care.
Yeah. That's one of the things I have to tell women on my page. Like, man, nothing that y'all say is going to change how the men that have success operate. You should be thankful that I'm giving you the game on it. But you're right. Why would you change what's been working for you? And as long as you come in with women with respect and authenticity, you can be you. You know,
always.
You can
always
just do you.
Respect, bro. Always respect. I don't mean to cut you off, but out here, guys, fellas, listen. No matter how you approach a woman, I don't care if it's on Instagram or if it's in person or whatever. Always approach a woman with respect, man, and dignity for not only her but for yourself. So when you walk away, you ain't looking like a fool or a sucker or you're emotional or sensitive or none of that, man. Just approach her like a man. Be genuine with how you approach. If she don't like you, walk away like a man, man. Take it on the chin and go to the next one. I'm sorry, Terry. I didn't mean to cut you off, bro.
That's all good.
Say that because a lot of men get disrespectful, call a woman name just because she don't like you. Like, man, even if she do say something crazy, man, you a whole man out here. You a whole man, and that is a woman, man. Take that on the chin and keep walking like, hey, it's all good, boo. I wasn't trying to, you know what I'm saying, get into all that with you. It's good. Have a good day and keep it moving.
Exactly.
Another thing I would recommend, fellas, if there's a group of women, just using the word ladies. For some reason, that really helps with how y'all ladies doing. Y'all ladies look nice. Using the word ladies is one of the best words to refer to a group of women. Females, bitches, hoes, none of those things are in your favor, man. Go with ladies. You'll always get a much more pleasant result.
And you know what I found out also? Let me throw this in there for a group. I love groups of women. I love them. What you do is I walk into the group and I introduce myself to every woman there. And the last woman that I introduce myself to is the woman I want to talk to. And I compliment
you make her wait.
Hair. Yeah, like, man, because I don't want to talk to her first and then go to all her girls. No. I'm gonna hit all your girls first. How y'all doing? I'm SD. How you doing? I'm SD. How you doing? Listen, I saw you over there, and the way your hair look, I love that. Them shoes, man, your toes looking good over here. I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting you know. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to come and tell you. You know what I'm saying? That I think you nice. And I hope I can see you before the end of the night. Bang, I'm gone. I'll holler at you later. And
A+. Yeah, quick, sweet, to the point, man. That's the fellas, take notes. Hit the rewind button. Go back 30 seconds. Yeah. Jot that down. You can't go wrong with a short, sweet conversation like that. Nope. All right, man. We about to get up out here. Look like we up against our clock already. This has been a real good conversation. Before we go, man, I want to give another shout out to my man, Brother Soul Productions, for keeping us laced with the background audio. I want to remind y'all to continue supporting the podcast through our Cash App and our PayPal. JSD, man, I appreciate y'all boys linking up with me so we can get another episode knocked out. Mm-hmm. This has been another episode of the Ho the Husband Podcast, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.